Today I'm going to show you how I pruned my prairie fire crabapple. This tree was sadly overgrown. It had lots of crossing branches and was difficult to mow around. This is Rhonda Ferree with the University of Illinois Extension. I usually start by removing stems with the 3 Ds, dead, damaged, or diseased. Since this tree didn't have much of that, I started by removing 1 to 3 major limbs. This diagram shows where those were. They were either too low on the tree and interfered with mowing or interfered with another major limb. Notice how I removed some limbs with a saw and others with loppers. Always use the right tool for the job. I pruned this tree on February 17th of 2017. Notice how I prune it very slowly. I take lots of time to stand back and look around and see what the cut will do to the tree later. You can always take off more later, but you certainly can't put it back. Here I'm going to remove one of those lower major limbs, and to do that I'm using a hand saw. You could certainly use a chainsaw or an electric saw as well, but I just find I have good control with the hand saw. I'm trying to go as close to that tree as I can. You can kind of see ridges where the cut should be made. I usually start with a cut underneath first and then cut through the top after that to make sure that it doesn't, when it falls, it doesn't rip bark down the edge of the tree. It'll be a nice clean cut when I get it off there. And there you can see that limb has been removed. Back in with a pair of loppers because it's a smaller limb that I'm going to remove, and notice how I'm again really analyzing that tree to see where that cut needs to be made. And I'm deciding here, as you can see right there, that I'm trying to remove some crossing limbs that are rubbing together and really damaging each other with time. So I go again all the way back to another branch and take that branch off. And you can see how it's starting to open up at this point. The next one, I'm going back to a saw and I remove that upper branch that again is really crossing and kind of mixing in with all those other branches. And then on the other side, again, very similar, removing a branch that is it's just really too dense in there and I need to thin it out a bit. So you can see how this tree is starting to open up as I selectively prune those branches away. I finished the pruning of this tree by removing smaller growth with the hand pruners. My goal is not to remove more than 30% of the tree's growth in a year. If I need to do more than that, I really should kind of time it over a few years and cut it off the next winter. As you can see, the end result is a much more open habit that will be easier to mow around. This picture was taken on April 17th, 2017, a month after it was pruned, and shows how beautiful the tree looks in full bloom. You can find more information at our University of Illinois Extension website shown here, or you can post questions and get gardening tips at one of my IL River Hort social media sites serving Fulton, Mason, Peoria, and Tazewell counties.